Hello. My brief is to say something on where we are now. And in the first instance, uh, that's rather dismal. Um, the academic world, the literary world, the cultural world in general is not in marvellous shape. Fewer and fewer people at school take literature, and the same applies to universities. And the texts which children are exposed to have shrunk and become less demanding, and university courses, which are largely optional, means that students tend to avoid longer, more difficult, older texts and go for more readily accessible ones, sometimes even trivial ones. So that's rather gloomy, and on top of that, anyone who teaches literature at the moment, or teaches anything but literature in particular, is subject to all kinds of pressures on what can be said and what can't be said. And these must be quite difficult to ignore. So that's gloomy. It isn't all gloomy, absolutely gloomy. Personally, I saw a production of Don Carlos at the Royal Opera about 3 weeks ago, which was absolutely brilliant, listened to by a packed audience, intelligent and appreciative. And then when I came back, I went to Chester Mystery Plays. I live in Chester. Medieval mystery plays performed in the cathedral over several nights, packed audience, extraordinarily imaginative production, 200 performers. So, not everything is bad. Not only that, the barren world, academics, literary people, but all kinds of people, seems to me in a fairly healthy condition. It's not lacking in self-confidence. There's conferences of proof of that. There are lots of intelligent, lively people of different, diverse kinds knocking around in it. It's a much more fruitful world now, the barren world, than it was 60 years or so ago when I first entered it. Nevertheless, one can't ignore the rather surrounding cultural gloom, which isn't immediately going to go away. So what should we do about it? Well, look on my works, ye mighty, and despair, said Ozymandias, and if we were subject to his rule, we might think he had a point. But he didn't last all that long, not forever. And if we compare that with another utterance, which is in some ways similar, there is that within me which shall tire, torture, and time. Now that could be confident boasting, just like Ozymandias, or it could be a substantial truth. I think it's a substantial truth. Aristotle said that we were animals with logos. We're certainly animals. But we're also equally certainly possessing logos, which means that we think, we attend to the world around us, to what's in us, we attend to past worlds. We're curious about things, and we have an appetite for form, for beauty. We have an appetite and an admiration for well-fashioned words, and that's not simply going to go away. So that's a kind of ground for hope, which I think we should hold on to. So what should we do? What we should do is carry on doing what we're doing as though we believe in it, because it's intrinsically pleasurable. You know, I got paid for teaching Byron, but I taught Byron also because I liked reading Byron. I enjoyed it. And we should communicate that pleasure, because that's catching. If other people see you doing something, which is a human activity, which looks enjoyable, you get something out of it, to put it rather crudely, that has its effects. What we shouldn't do is try to make Byron relevant as a means of escaping the present situation or keeping going during it. Because being relevant, for example, saying, darkness is about climate change, as though as a result of that, people will start reading Byron in huge numbers, which is absurd. The quest for relevance is simply adopting dominant cliches of our time, which will soon become the cliches of the past. No, we should carry on doing what we're doing, believe in it, and if possible, do it with some sort of gaiety. Kyla asked me to say something positive, and I always do exactly what Kyla tells me, so I've tried to be positive and given you a rather watered down Churchillianism, but I hope it's acceptable. And this comes with my love to everyone in the conference.